pass, when Jesus had finished all these things, he said unto his disciples, you know that after 2 days is a feast of the Passover, and the Son of Man is betrayed to be crucified. Then they assembled together the chief priests and the scribes and the elders of the people, and the palace of the high priest, who was called Caiaphas, and consulted that they might take Jesus suddenly and kill him. But they said, not on the feast day, lest there be an uproar among the people. Now when Jesus was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head, and he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Jesus understood it, he said, why trouble you the woman? For she has wrought a good work upon me. For you have the poor with you always, but me you have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, and she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, whethersoever the gospel shall be preached in this whole world, there shall also this that the woman has done be told as a memorial unto her. Then one of the 12, called Judas Iscariot, went unto the chief priests, and said unto them, what will you give me? And I will deliver him unto you. And they convenient him for 30 pieces of silver. Verse 2. You know that after 2 days is the feast of the Passover, and the Son of Man is betrayed to be crucified. 14 and 15. When one of the 12, called Judas Iscariot, went unto the chief priests, and said unto them, what will you give me? And I will deliver him unto you. And they convenient him for 30 pieces of silver. I want to talk from this point, betrayed at the hand of a friend, and as a subtopic, sold out for change. Jesus knew who would betray him, who would deny him, who would doubt him, who would be offended and abandon him, even who would reject him. Let's go to the Matthew 26th chapter, verse 20 through 25. Now when even was come, he sat down with the 12. And as they did eat, he said, verily I say unto you that one of you shall betray me. And they were exceedingly sorrowful. Probably because of what Evangelist Faith said. They probably was wondering, did he find out what I did? Did he know it was me? So it's like, oh, I'm about to be busted out, you know. They were exceedingly sorrowful, and began one of them to say, Lord, is it I? Sometimes you go through things in life that make you question, Lord, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I offending you by what I just did? Lord, is it I? My God. And he answered and said unto them, I already know who it is. I'm going to tell y'all, he that dippeth his hand with me in this dish, the same shall betray me. The Son of Man goeth as it is written of him, but woe unto that man whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It has been good for that man if he had not been born. And Judas, which betrayed him, answered and said, Master, is it I? And he said unto him, you have said. Jesus told him, you know it's you. You already know it's you. Why are you asking me? You already know. You already said it. Now when the other ones asked him, he said, let me tell you who it is. It's the one that dips with me. So he said, I'm not talking about y'all right now. That's y'all for a later time. Y'all seen the play come later. Right now I'm talking about Judas. So he said, I'm not going to call his name. But then when Judas said, Lord is not, he said, you said it. You already know. Let's look at verse 31 through 35. My God. Here comes the other disciples. Then said Jesus unto them, the rest of them, you all shall be offended. All right. Because of me this night. For it is written, I will smite the shepherd and the sheep, and the flock shall be scattered abroad. He said, have you ever been offended because God didn't do it the way you thought it should be done? Have you ever been offended because you expected him to fight in his flesh and he didn't? He came by the Spirit. You expected him to deliver you overnight and it took a few more days. You expected him to pull your child out before they got in, and God said, no, I'm teaching them something in the midst of it. They all got offended at Jesus. He said, I will smite the shepherd and the sheep of the flock shall be scattered abroad. The devil knows that if I touch the head, if I touch the pastor, if I touch the co-pastor, stuff. So he said, I'm going to smite the shepherd. I'm going to try and take Jesus out so the disciples won't know what to do. So he said, I will smite them and scatter the sheep.
My God.
It says, but after I'm risen again, I will go before you in Galilee. So Peter answered and said unto him, though all men shall be offended of thee, yet I will never be offended. Jesus said unto him, verily I say unto thee, that this night before the cock crow, you shall deny me thrice. Peter said unto him, though I should die with thee, I will not deny thee. Likewise said the other disciples. Sometimes we don't even know what's in us. We plan, Lord, I'm going to be with you, but when that pressure hit, it tell you where you really are. When that pressure hit, when they saw them dragging Jesus from judgment hall to judgment hall, they're like, wait a minute, let's go hide, y'all. They might recognize we look like him. Let's follow him afar. Let's not get too close, lest we be crucified with him. But at the time, it was convenient to say, oh, we're going to follow you. We got you. Ever start following afar off when the head don't do what you thought they ought to do because it's not like the church you recognize? Well, this is how we used to do. Let me follow him at a distance because I don't think he's going the way that I'm used to going. I don't think he's going the way he ought to go. But because he's going by the Spirit, your flesh don't recognize this is the way God is leading. So the disciples didn't realize what was going on because they were in the flesh and Jesus was moving by the Spirit. Jesus handpicked the 12, yet he knew each of them. He knew what was in their heart before he picked them, but he said, okay, you doubt me, come on and go. You deny me, come on and go. You going to betray me, go ahead and go. Y'all going to abandon me, but come on anyway. He already knew they would betray him. I believe he picked them so that when we see this story, we find ourselves, we know there's still hope. We know that all is not lost because if he knew what they did and he still wanted them, surely he'll be there for us too. He wanted to say, when you read this, where are you in the story? Where are you in the disciples? Where are you in this picture? He already knew what was in each of our hearts. He knew what we do before we did it. Before it was a thought in our mind, before the temptation crossed our plate, he already knew what our response would be. But yet he chose us anyway. Even though he knew they would betray him, he chose to die for them. Even though he knew they would betray him, he still fed them. He still had fellowship with them. He didn't break the fellowship saying, no, you a traitor. Get away from me. You ain't eating. I'll get my plate back. He didn't do that to them. He already knew. But yet he fed them anyway. He said, I'm going to show you how to do in the world. I'm going to show you the difference between the kingdom of God and the way the world does things. Even though they betray you, feed them anyway. Even though they try and stab you in the neck, clothe them anyway. I want you to do it the way I'm showing you how to do it. Jesus called his betrayer friend. And he called the one that tried to keep him from the cross the enemy. Now to us, that would boggle our mind. Look at he ain't trying to keep you from death, Jesus. And you said, that's your enemy. But the one that would betray you, you said, he's my friend. Let's take a look at that in Matthew, the 16th chapter.
That's all right.
See, in the flesh, we look at it, no, you betrayed me, you my enemy. But Jesus said, it's the one that's keeping you on your knees. It's the one that's making you pray. That's making you seek me and call my faith. It's the one that's pushing you to your destiny. That's the one that's your friend. But the one that's saying, you don't need to go through that. The one that's stopping the progress in you. Walking through that is causing you to live. It's causing your flesh to die. That's the one that we think, oh, that's my enemy.
My God.
Verse 16. Verse 21. From that time forth began Jesus to show his disciples that he must go through Jerusalem. Y'all, I'm going to suffer many things. I'm going to be beat. I'm going to be spit upon. They're going to pull my beard out. Peter, hearing all this, said, Peter took him and began to rebuke him, saying, be it far from thee, Lord, this shall not happen. You ain't going through that. He's telling him, I must go through this. This is the way my Father has ordained it to be. I have to walk through this to get to the other side of glory. So if I don't go through this, then it won't be written as it said.
My God.
But he turned and You're in your flesh. You're not looking at the whole picture, Peter. You're only looking at the pain part of it, as we do when we're going through trouble. We're not looking at what's going to happen when I come out of this. How much better I'm going to be when I get through it. We're looking at the pain we're going through right now. We're not looking at, Lord, you got blessings on the other side. If I can just walk through the valley, not stop, but go through the valley, I will be alive. I can see blessings, the abundant life, but we don't want to die. So we want to skip that part.
All right.
Matthew's chapter 26, verse 47. He said, and while he yet spake, Judas, one of the 12, came unto him with a great multitude, with swords and staffs, the chief priests and elders of the people. Now he that betrayed him gave him a sign, saying, whoever I kiss, hold him fast. Forthwith he came to Jesus and said, hail, master, and kissed him. And Jesus said unto him, friend, where art thou come? He already knew. He's like, you just helping me get to the other side of the world. I already knew your purpose anyway. He's like, you just acting out the part of a script that's already been written.
That's it.
Thank you, Jesus.
Judas sold Jesus out for 30 pieces of silver.
Yes, he did.
One that he fed, one that was close to him.
My God.
One that he instructed on how to get to heaven. One that he gave power to overcome. He said, when y'all go through, Jesus was one of the 12 that went out, that was healing people, that was delivering people. He did it along with the disciples. God gave him power over the enemy. He also gave us power to get the wealth. Jesus who healed them. But the minute Jesus didn't do it the way Judas thought it ought to be done.
That's right.
Because Judas was mad that the money was being wasted on Jesus' head. He said, you know what, I'm going to betray you because you ain't acting like you should act. You ain't acting on the script that I have in my mind, so you're not the one.